Start off, my name is Rob Zdrojewski, middle school technology teacher at Amherst Middle School. This is my 12th year of teaching, and as of this fall, I am now an adjunct professor in Canisius College in Buffalo. They just launched a fully online master's program to be certified as an ed tech specialist. So you can obtain now the New York State certification. Surprisingly, even the public schools, Buffalo State College, where I went for my other undergraduate degrees, and UB, they had the program for years, but they can't certify you to be an ed tech specialist. So Canisius has a unique stance on that, and it's also a fully online program, so the students were seeing it from all over the place. In fact, starting today, Module 5 opens for the course I'm teaching, and Videolicious is the topic of the week. So that's another reason why I'm recording this session, so I can throw that on there and include it as part of the part of the course. So that's my story. I'm kind of in the same boat as you, because at Amherst Central Schools, we're Windows only also. No Mac desktops or laptops anywhere. But the good news is most kids have access to an iPod Touch. A good number of kids do. So you get a couple of those in class. Now you have the tool to record the footage, edit the footage, and output the footage, and watch it too, all in one. So that's kind of, for those of us that are in those Windows only worlds, there are still options that way. And it just happens to be falling on those mobile devices. Very good. So we already covered about the app. Works on all iOS devices that have then that's the key, have the front-facing camera. If you have an iPad 1, I have one of those, there's no front-facing camera, so that's an exception. iPod Touches, versions 3 and lower, so anything from like 2-3 years and older, won't have a front-facing camera either. Even an iPhone 3, I think, does not have the front camera either. So it's kind of the catch, is make sure that the device has a front camera on it, and then the app will work on it. There is a new version released, I think this summer it was, for Mac OS desktops and laptops, and that's a hot link there that'll take you right to it if you need to obtain that. And the nice part about this app is it allows for both photos and video clips. So some people look at, give me an app that makes videos, give me an app that does photo slideshows. This one does both, and I'm going to show you that today, how you can do two different, you can mix and match, or you could have just one or the other. Free versus paid options, let's cover those now right off the bat so you can see some of the options here. Videolicious is a totally free app to use. You get up to 60 seconds of a output video, so it's meant for short videos. If you want to go beyond 60 seconds and get a whole bunch of other features, you would go for more of their Business or Business Plus plans. The other thing to mention too is it says about sign up and sign in. They kind of suggest that you do that because then you have an account where all of your videos you make are stored and hosted right on the Videolicious site. You don't have to do that though. I know myself, and I teach 7th and 8th graders, and we have 10 district-owned iPod Touches, and then mixed with a bunch of other devices that kids are bringing in that they own. I want to make it as easy as possible so I can just go right to the project and not be worried about making accounts and all of that. So I probably will not, this next time around, do anything with making accounts. We'll just make them directly on the device. The key part is that the child uses the same iPod the next day and the next day if it's a multi-day project. So 3 different levels. Here's the details for each. All right, as you can see, the first one's the same. The length limit. The free one, you get 1 minute length, and that's good for those quick little digital storytelling projects. I actually have this plan in the middle right now that I'm using, the basic $5 a month or $60 a year plan. You get a 10-minute video length, which is helpful because a lot of times I'll be making a little video blog post, actually like the one for this workshop, and I know I'm reaching like 60 seconds. If you have the free plan, the numbers will turn red around 55 seconds or so, so you know, like, hurry up and finish your speech because you're going to get cut off. So it is kind of helpful to have the ability to go a little bit beyond that. And then unlimited length, I guess, in case you were making corporate-style documentaries and needed a longer amount of time. The number of items per video, when I say items, it could mean photographs or videos, or both. You get 10 on the basic plan, 100 there, and then unlimited there. Storing them, this has cloud storage. When you produce something with the app, upon finishing it, it automatically drops it on your camera roll, so it's local on the device, but it also then uploads it to the Videolicious hosting service, and they can store 20 of them there. Now, I kind of thought at the beginning, well, no big deal, as long as it's on my camera roll, I'm good. But then I realized when I'm using I have an iPhone, I have an iPad, and I'm using the desktop, and I'm switching between all these different devices. So it is nice to be able to use, because it fits in your pocket, the iPhone to record something, but then I go to school and I'm working on this, I don't have to then get out a cable and transfer anything, it's just automatically in the cloud. So there is an advantage to that, having that. And another kind of idea in a school classroom situation is maybe I'll have one account that I create that I log in on all the devices, and I'll even log in on a student-owned device because I'm going to do the login. I'm going to type in the password. They're not going to know the password, and they can't retrieve that password. Therefore, we're all 100 or so of my students are all using the same account, so I, the teacher, can go in and look and see all of their uploads in one spot. It'll just kind of consolidate things for the teacher running the show there. So that's an idea, and I probably would go for the middle plan to do that. Things that the paid plans have, which are called Business and Business Plus. This is more for, and you'll see, for real estate people, for financial people, for entrepreneurs, anyone using this tool kind of outside of education for promoting their business or service. They might want to add their logo on the beginning and the end. They might want an unbranded video page, so when their clients go there, it doesn't say Videolicious, but it says their own logo or it's just blank. And then this I really like, the commercial music library. You're going to see that in the free version you get 9 musical choices built into the app, which is a lot. I mean, there's a lot to choose from with the 9 videos, but get 100 kids using them, they're all sound kind of the same because they're reusing them. This one gives you, I believe, 60 different tracks. So you have an even larger selection of royalty-free music to use. You also can use, and this is where copyright concerns come in, you can use the music that's on your device that you purchased through iTunes. So if you have that, I have a Lady Gaga song I always use, as an example there. I pull that song in, I show the kids, look, you can use that. But what's the purpose of this video? Is it for learning purposes for school? Or are you going to put that somewhere where then it's available for sale or it's publicized because you don't want to get into legal trouble with that? So that, of course, leads into the whole digital citizenship conversation, too. So I do like the built-in music libraries that they give you more of them in the paid plans there. So that's an overview of those plans, free versus paid options. Now for a sample Rob Z video. This is one that I made with the Videolicious app. And I have to be a little bit, it's a little bit tricky. You're going to see things, extras in here, like the lower third graphic and I think the opening graphic too. What I did is I made the production in Videolicious, saved it to the camera roll. Then I pulled it into iMovie. Is anybody familiar with iMovie? All right, with iMovie, you can do things like lower thirds, add in opening, full screen graphics and things like that. So I did that because I wanted to have my logo at the bottom for branding purposes since I put this up on YouTube and places like that. So this video was made with Videolicious and then brought into iMovie. But it serves as a good way to show what a teacher could do to showcase what's going on in the classroom in just a matter of minutes. I did put this together in the same class period, so it wasn't a very difficult thing. So let's see if our streaming is going to allow us to play nice and smooth video here. It's going to buffer, it looks like. And the microphone too, I'll talk about that. That's one of the accessories there that you can use to get better microphone quality.
Hey, this is Rob Z of RobZTraining.com, and today I want to talk about the progress bars in Edmodo. In my classroom, I have a procedure. Beginning of class, kids come in and log right.
Edmodo, yeah, that's a tool that we use. It's like Facebook, but for schools. So it's a social learning, social networking platform. And that is probably the #1 tool that we use because it's a daily thing. We live inside of Edmodo for my class. And that's where all assignments are turned in and videos are watched and communication happens. So it's an online learning platform. So this may not play for us, but
in my classroom, I have a procedure.
Showing this to you guys is that you see the person introducing themselves. You see a whole variety of pictures and videos that were taken that explain what's going on. Yeah, I won't be able to do it.
Edmodo.
And then in the end, it'll come back to me there. So I call this a level 3 video. There's beginner, intermediate, and advanced, level 1, 2, and 3. I would call this a level 3 because it includes microphone audio, it includes the use of the video camera, and that would be kind of the most complex of the videos you can make with Videolicious. So I'll show you also the simpler ones too, to give you the kind of the whole spectrum of what this can be used for. So some sample videos on the Videolicious site. I think it's helpful for kids every single day in class to start out and see, where am I at? What was graded? What do I not have turned in? Do I have everything, meet all my deadlines? So I use the progress bar feature in Edmodo to help update themselves and help update me, because the kids will go in my room, log in on all 25 computers, then they'll come back to the center of the room where the desks are. And then I can look on my screen or across the room. I can look and see where all the progress bars are at. So I could say, this class looks like everybody's all caught up. Or this class, everybody's all over the place. I better give an extra day of work time. So it kind of helps me gauge things.
And how do you record the progress?
The Edmodo tool itself has a built-in gradebook. And all assignments have to be turned in electronically through Edmodo.
Oh.
So I have a dashboard where then I get to check off and grade things that way. And by me checking something off, it gives a progress bar that makes it green all the way up if it's 100 points. If it's late, my personal policy is a point off each day it's late. And weekends and holidays, everything counts just to keep it easy. And then, so the bars will be like yellowish if they were late or red if they were really late. But I allow them to turn stuff in beyond the deadlines, but we just apply that grading policy to it. So the progress bars, because we have so many things going on at once, it's a great way to just keep everybody organized. So I think we'll be okay now.
Hi, this is Rob Z of RobZTraining.com.
Oh, in
Today
fact,
I want to talk about...
Let me pause it there because I did this on purpose. The daily routine. First, attendance on iPad. I have my iPad 1 sitting off on the side, and I use an app called Class Dojo. Has anyone heard of Class Dojo? It's meant to be how about this? In elementary school, do you remember how the teachers now have the card system where if it's a good day, your card stays green. But if you do something wrong, you have to change your card color to yellow? No? I know it because my daughter's in first grade now. It's something that the teachers do just keep track of behavior. That's the paper analog version of it. Now the digital version of it is using an iPad or even a teacher's smartphone. And Class Dojo lets you on the fly say, Johnny, you're out of your seat. And you hit a little button and then you hear like a negative sound. And then it's a way of tracking behavior over time. Now I'm not using it for behavior. I'm just using it for attendance. So in the beginning of class, there's a screen on my, I don't have a smart board, but I have a projector with little icons of all the kids. So they go over to my iPad on the side and they touch Johnny Smith, present. And it goes bing, and their little thing lights up on the wall there. So they're taking attendance that way. So I like it because then when I'm ready to start class, I just look up there and I say, anybody see Susan today? Oh, she's at a music lesson? Okay, so we're good. So it's self-service attendance in that way. And that can be done from any mobile device. So that's what attendance on iPad means. And then Edmodo progress bars. This is where they go to their computer and pull up those bars, which you'll see in a moment here. And then number 3 is come on back to the tables in the middle, and then we can start class that way. So that routine has helped us to really streamline things because really I think we get 37 minutes per class period with 7th and 8th graders. So there's a lot going on in a short amount of time.
The progress bars in Edmodo. In my classroom, I have a procedure. Beginning of class, kids come in and log right into Edmodo, and they pull up these progress bars, which are a visual indicator of where they're at in the course. Since I run a differentiated classroom, every student's working on a project, but not always the same project at the same time. So this way, it gives them kind of a refresher at the beginning of class to see what was turned in, what wasn't turned in, what feedback did the teacher give me, and so forth. So I really like this now because I feel like the students have ownership of their own progress, and they can keep track, keep themselves updated each day, and the parents too, because the parents have the ability to check their Edmodo accounts too. Before this existed, before Edmodo, I couldn't do this. I simply had a paper gradebook sitting on my desk. Kids would have to come up and say, what project am I on? What should I be working on next? Can I redo that? And now I feel like with Edmodo, this tool lets me manage things much, much more efficiently. And nobody gets any surprises at the end of the rotation. Everybody's always kept up to date on their progress. So I feel like this really empowers the students in more of a project-based learning classroom, I guess you could say, is what I'm running here, through the use of a tool like Edmodo. So that's my blog post for today. If you're interested in seeing more, my blog is robztraining.com, and you can check out other stuff that we're doing with Edmodo there too. Thanks for watching.
Kinds of assignments that they have that they do on their iPads or on would be what?
Not on their iPad. We don't have any iPads for the kids to use. I wish we did, but it's just all on the desktops. Yeah. Whole variety of stuff. I mean, I'm technology education, so I take everything from desktop publishing, learning Google Docs, spreadsheets, Evernote, screencasting. Yeah, it's computer applications, but a variety of different ones.
And then do they do everything on Google Docs? Is that how you?
If it's like a word processing project, then yes, that would be our tool of choice for that. Yep.
Because then you can see it, other kids can share.
That's right. And you can see the history of the document. If there are multiple authors on it, you can see who spent the most time on it. And you can't, nice thing too is you can never destroy a Google Doc, either on purpose or by accident, because you can always go to the revision history and go back to a previous version of it. So that's just stuff you can't do with Microsoft Word at this point. And it's free too, so it's not a hard thing for schools to jump into. So that's a sample video blog post made with Videolicious, and I kind of think about that. If you want your kids to get involved with video blogging, use Videolicious as your tool to do so, because you can really cover a lot there that might not be as clear if it was all done through text, words only type of a blog post. So now to the Videolicious site, and this is kind of going to span it a little bit wider. I want you to keep in mind here that this is not just for K-12, but a whole variety of audiences here. And all across the top, yes?
I'm sorry to keep interrupting.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Because we're pretty new at this, so we're trying to take in a lot. Yeah. The video blogs that the kids do are on a whole wide range of things. Do they do like a book report or what trip they went on?
I will give them the topic, usually. Like last year we did public service announcements, PSAs, around Thanksgiving time. It was about fire safety and about not using too many Christmas lights tied together and things like that for safety things for the season. It was a Red Cross was sponsoring it. And so we used Videolicious to make videos. Probably made about 80 or 90 of them. The kids submitted them themselves into the contest, and one of the kids, actually two of the kids, Brian and Tom, they won first place, which was $500 cash for them and $500 cash for my classroom, which, as I'm holding right here, this is that $500 that came from their project. So the $1,000 that they won, half of it went to the classroom and resulted in that. So that just goes to show you that with minimal effort, they're able to use a tool like Videolicious to take the story out of their head and formulate it into a product people can see. So they use it for that. I use it for video blogging, for like showing off different stuff in my classroom, like the Edmodo progress bars and things like that. Just because I can come up with an idea and then just pull my phone out, take a couple of supporting shots, and then put a story to it together later. In which now with version 2 of Videolicious makes it even easier, because in the past you'd have to tell your story while you're flipping through your pictures at the same time. And that's a lot of multitasking for someone to do. Now I know I can just put the front-facing camera on and hit record and talk through the whole thing. And when I'm done, now I can decide where those photos and videos go. So when I get into the demonstration piece, you'll see I'll show you the easy way and the hard way for doing that. So keeping in mind now wide different ways to use this, Videolicious was kind of primarily made for the corporate market, for the business world, not so much for the education world. So some of the things they have I wanted to show would be like the video tour. This one is for maybe real estate people would use this if they carry around a mobile device with themselves.
Hi, I'm Jason Haber of Rubicon Property, and welcome to the Barclay Mansion at 5 East 78th Street on Manhattan's Upper East Side. You know, this block is one of the most beautiful in all of New York, and today we're excited to have you here in this apartment, apartment 2-3, in this majestic Beaux Arts masterpiece. The townhouse itself was built around 100 years ago and represents some of the finest in architecture that you'll find in New York City. In this apartment in particular, there are 5.5 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms, a maid's room, and incredible original detail.
And notice what they just did there. They went back to him, some other shots, then back to him again, and back to other shots. So you can do that. Before it was you could only put yourself from the very beginning to the very end. Now you can intersperse yourself as much as you want through there. So that I'll just go to the next one since I think we got the idea on that. A blog video. Here's something to do with fashion, I believe.
Hi, I'm Nina Valenti, the designer of Nature vs. Future. We're here at Splashlight Studios getting ready to shoot our spring collection. We have a great team today. Our hair and makeup artist is Yuki, our model is Kara, and our photographer
So all this footage was all taken with an iPhone or an iPod Touch. Yeah, not a professional camera, just the camera you're carrying in your pocket if you have an iPhone or an iPod Touch or an iPad. So you just capture that footage. You kind of start there first as a digital storyteller. You conceptualize in your mind, what do I want the finished product to look like? So what shots will I need? Which we'll do that today. I'm going to make a video about this workshop. So I'm going to figure out, what do I need? I'm going to get like his fingers touching the screen of the iPad, and I'll get a wide shot of the room, and I'll get a shot of 2 people talking like they're coming up with storyboards. So as a filmmaker, I'm deciding what goes into it first, capture that footage, and then tell your story last. So it's kind of the workflow that you follow there. This one is a good example too, an how-to video from a restaurant, I believe.
Hi, I'm Carrie, and today I'm going to show you how to make the perfect burger at home using Bell's Hill Worcestershire sauce. There's 3 components to the burger. The first is the sauce. So we'll use a 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt, a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, a teaspoon of ketchup for sweetness and color, and a few splashes of Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, when I saw this, I thought of our career and life skills teachers. I thought, what a perfect way to show how to sew something, how to make something, how to, step-by-step produce something. Even in a science lab, how you dissect the frog, whatever it is, the kids are capturing that photos and videos for later use when they put the story together. What were some other ones? Conference, like for this conference, I will do a little bit of footage here, actually, for this I'm wearing the SchoolTube shirt, and I'll put it up on SchoolTube TV, showing some of the new advances in educational technology that are happening on the exhibit hall.
Hey, I'm Alec Hartman. I'm one of the organizers of New York Tech Day.
Now notice, too, his voice. Is it easy or is it hard to hear with all the background noise?
This year is our first event, and we're trying to bring together the startup community to make a really big impact, show everyone what startups in New York.
So because it's hard to hear him in an environment like that, he's just using the built-in microphone on these devices. That's where the iRig mic, this is a $50 mic, $49 or so on Amazon, and it is designed exclusively for iOS devices. The iRig, and there's a link to it on the outline when we get to the accessories part. I'm showing you guys the accessories as I go because it's kind of in context that way. But it plugs into your headphone jack on your device, like where your headphones will go, and then it's still, because you just blocked that, it still has another jack built into it, so you could plug your earphones in and still have the ability to have both be working. It then has a low, medium, and high sensitivity switch, so depending on the environment you're in, if it's really loud like this, you might want to make it less sensitive, whereas if it's in a room like this, I want to pick everybody up, I'll put it very sensitive and put it down on a stand, so it has flexibility with the environment it's recording in. And then throw one of these guys on for $10, put a logo on there, and get a 99-cent windscreen. And now the kids feel like they're real news reporters using a real microphone, handheld mic. And it has a good distance on the cord, so you could be a couple of feet away there and use it. And that would give you, like in this video example here, better audio quality when there's a lot going on. Yeah. Yeah. What else do they have? This I thought was good. I'm going to have my students create, one of the projects this year is create a fictitious product as if they were entrepreneurs, and so this could be Videolicious used to do this.
Want to be fashionable? Check out our duct tape bangles. Just tear off a piece of tape and start wrapping. Make stripes and experiment. Voila! You really can't go wrong with these trendy, colorful bangles.
So another good use of a tool like Videolicious. The music is, as I was mentioned before, it comes in the app too, so you don't even have to go out and find extra music. It's built right into it. And then there's a couple other ones here that if you're interested, you guys can click on them later and check those out there. So those are some commercial examples of using the Videolicious product. Now for a sample video, actually the one I talked about earlier, the one from Brian and Tom that won the $1,000 from the SchoolTube video contest, it was this video here. And so here it goes. I think it was 10 seconds. We had to run an intro slide like this, so after about 10 it should stop.
Hi, I'm Tom.
And I'm Brian.
Have you ever wondered if what you hear on the news or see on the internet is true?
Well, if you ask yourself these 5 questions, you'll know the truth.
The first question is, who said it?
Is this a person that you can rely on?
Can I trust this source? Will they tell the truth?
Is this person biased?
Are they being prejudiced?
Am I biased?
Am I being prejudiced?
And lastly, where can I get more information on this topic?
Is there another source you can go to find more information?
If you ask yourself these questions, you'll always find the truth.
So that right there was worth $1,000 for a video contest. I mean, I look at that and I think we could have done this, we could have done that, there's more we could have done, but that just basic thing that was created in 1 or 2 class periods was able to have them be at the top of the list there. And if you saw the graphics, including this one that's on the screen now, we made those in Google Presentations, which is the PowerPoint equivalent for the Google Docs stuff. And because of that, they used the classroom computers, the desktop computers, to build these graphics. Then when they got to their mobile device, they had iPod Touches, they would load it up on the screen and go full screen with it. And does everybody know the secret to capture whatever's on your screen? Take a picture on there. You can take a screen capture of whatever. I'll just put something up. Careful what I put up here, but this is Flipboard, a news app that I use a lot. So let's say I wanted a picture of this to use. simply press one button and the other button, and it takes a photograph. So now when I go to my camera roll, that ends up being the last item in my camera roll. So now I can use this inside of Videolicious because you're pulling in pictures. So that was the trick that we did to make our graphics. Rather than having to make them on a small little screen, we made them on a regular screen, but then we just took a capture of them. So that was part of the workflow there. There's two buttons. There's the lock button on the top and the home button here. You press one of them down. Doesn't matter which one first. Okay. Press one button, hold it, press the other button. Oh, cool. So it's whatever's on your screen. Yep. Even if it's a moving video, it'll take a shot. So anything at all that you're visibly seeing on your screen is fair game. You can use that trick to capture the screen.
But you said you did it on the desktop first?
We did it on the desktop because it was easier to build these graphics using a keyboard and a mouse and what they were used to.
You synced the two?
No, then we went, because we built it in Google Presentations, it's in the cloud, we went to the browser, just to the browser, logged into our Google Docs account, pulled up the slide, made it full screen, and then took the picture. So that way you can, because at first I tried having to make it on here, but it was so hard and your fingers trying to get everything, I just said, let's do it this way and then just carry it over. So that was a skill that they learned that, oh, okay, I can, if it's easier to do here, as long as it's in the cloud, I can then get this stuff on here and not hook up any wires or cables or anything. So it is. I think Microsoft should be very scared because it's really catching on big time. And I'm a fan of saying we don't need to teach Microsoft Office in schools if we're using Google Docs because you're still teaching the concept of slides or documents or spreadsheets either way. So I'm a huge fan of Google Docs. I've gone on a Microsoft free diet, including this is my first MacBook. I usually only had Windows XP, Windows machines, but I'll not go back to the Microsoft world. I'm kind of liking the whole Apple world now. But that's on a side note, yes. So our next piece to look at here is SchoolTube as your moderated free video hosting solution. Now, does everybody know what YouTube is? Okay, it's a place where anybody could put anything up on the web and anybody could see it. SchoolTube takes that concept but now makes it moderated. So any video on this site has been verified by an adult. Most likely the teacher of that student. So when my students upload, they choose my name as the moderator, sends me an email, and then I go in and say yes or no to their video. But if I don't get to it, maybe my email inbox is full of stuff, people on the SchoolTube staff are standing by and they will go through it and verify that whatever was submitted is okay to be on their site. So for that reason alone, major organizations like NYSCATE, National Association of Secondary School Principals, and Elementary School Principals, so your elementary and high school and middle school principals are likely members of that organization. They they endorse SchoolTube, whereas YouTube can't say that, or Vimeo, or TeacherTube, or any other similar site. So that's one good thing going for them right now, because then SchoolTube can be open on the network and not filtered or blocked. So it can be fully wide open. So that's their main advantage of their service.
An app, or is it online? You have to just
it's a site online right now, yes. They do have a mobile app forthcoming that's been in the works for a little bit of time. In fact, they're going to let me beta test it once it does come out. But the newest thing, this I just discovered by a freak accident. When you use Chrome, or any browser, or I should say any browser really, on the iPad, and you go to the SchoolTube site, you can upload from your camera roll right off of here. And it's not because of anything SchoolTube did, it's because of what Apple did. As of iOS 6, now you can upload photos or videos off of your camera roll onto web pages. And that was something that Apple did behind the scenes. And I'm not sure everybody even knows that right now. Because I can go to the SchoolTube.com site, and I can click the area where normally on a desktop you would pick from your hard drive. Did I go too far?
Yeah. Go back and upload a picture, yes.
Yeah. In the past, you'd do that, and it would say unsupported device, because this doesn't have a file structure on it. It doesn't have a hard drive like real computers do. I shouldn't say real computers. But now you can upload stuff, so that all the videos and photos that I have here in my camera roll, I can upload any of them now to SchoolTube because of that changeover. So you really, in that sense, you don't really need a SchoolTube app anymore. That's why I was begging for it for so long. I said, my kids have stuff on here. We don't want to connect cables. Can you guys make an app? And they said they're working on it. But now you kind of don't even need it, because you can just go right to SchoolTube.com, and this works just like this. Instead of picking off a hard drive on this machine, I'm picking off the camera roll off of this machine. And so you really don't need an app anymore to be able to use this as your only device in class, you know, if you didn't have these at all.
Go right to your picture roll.
That's right. You can upload right from your camera roll.
Your students use your account instead of making their own?
No, I have them make their own SchoolTube account.
Okay.
I do have them do that. That whole process, too, the guys tell me at SchoolTube that that's under review, how they're going to change that. Because as it is now, if a kid forgets their password or has any trouble, I can't help them.
Yeah.
They have to do it on their own and contact SchoolTube or request a password to be sent. And, of course, that only works if they signed up with the right email account. They spelled it wrong when they signed up for it, then it doesn't work. So we run into those issues all the time. But the guys at SchoolTube are really good. They have people on staff that I have the kids send the email. I said, tell Jeff at SchoolTube this is what you need, and then he mails them back within 10 minutes, and it's got them all set up. So, but SchoolTube is what we use to host all of our videos, and as you can see by that right there, 3,206 videos. We are proudly, we can say, the #1 school on all of SchoolTube since they started in 2007. Yep. So we're talking, what's it, about 5 years or so, 5, 6 years now? And this goes back to all of our newscasts. See, that the most common uploads are these, our daily morning newscasts that we produce. But it's also individual, like this. Like this one from Michaela and PJ and Brian. It's individual projects as well. So we upload anywhere from maybe 20 to 30 videos per week up on SchoolTube. And we needed a place to host all those. We didn't want to pay for it. We wanted it to be not blocked by the school filter. So YouTube was crossed off the list for that. But SchoolTube, because it's allowed and it's all vetted, is allowing us to do that, to host all of our videos up there. And I have kids from years past now that are in college, freshman, sophomore in college, going for media productions, that they've been telling me they use their stuff as part of the application process to get in. Or even kids that are going to a private high school. They had to show something that they did. They use their content, and that's a nice thing. It's archived up there forever, so it becomes part of their digital footprint. Which, on a side note, is why I always recommend that they use their first name and possibly even their last name in the title, because then it's Googleable, and then people can Google themselves that way and then find good quality stuff like that.
So if you make a Videolicious video, and we want to put it in our newsletter in school, can you just put it embedded in a Gmail newsletter?
You'd have a couple things you could do. If you're making it with Videolicious, you can use the built-in hosting services that Videolicious has already. That would be looking like this. If I go to, no, that's okay, Videolicious.com, and then I go up here to sign in. I'll sign in with my main account. And again, that's why there's a benefit here of having your account, because then your stuff is stored in the cloud, not just on your device.
Right.
So I sign in, and it will show, here are the 3 that I've made so far and that I'm storing. And as a result, I can do a whole bunch of things. I can share it out, which lets me put it on those different services, including email. Or I can copy the link to it. This is the exact link that I can put in the newsletter.
Oh, so the link could be in the newsletter,
Yep.
and then people could go and see the news report if it was the newsletter.
That's right.
News report. That's
Yep.
pretty cool.
There's also an embed code, so if you're working with a blog and you need that HTML code, that would put it on there. You can download it directly as a MOV file, I think is the format. And so that's the cloud-based access that you have for it. But you could also throw it onto SchoolTube and have it, have it sit there too, because on any of your SchoolTube videos like this, you also have a nice short link, like that right there is the short link to get to it, and they give you the embed code as well. So you could take people here to your SchoolTube channel. That's actually what we were looking at. This is our SchoolTube channel. So anything that either I upload or any of my students upload all filters into this one location, and it's called our organization page. And so it just grows on a daily basis, and then people can subscribe to the page and get updates too. So you have many different places to put your videos for free out there on the web once you have them created.
And if you have a Google domain, can you put it up on there?
Yes, like a Google site.
On our school site?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep, because as long as you have either the URL or the embed code, either or, you could put it anywhere that you want, and it'll be hosted there. Now here's the one thing here, limitation, because if you're doing the free account, you're going to only be able to store up to 20 videos here.
Right.
So once you get, like that wouldn't work for us because we do a daily newscast. But that's where SchoolTube would then fit in better, because here there's no limit to.
The $120 one.
Yes. Yes, but SchoolTube for free will let you be unlimited. No file size limits, no length limits. I think even YouTube only gives you 10 or 15 minutes maximum out of a video. Wow. SchoolTube, no limitation. So if you have a 2-hour board meeting or a 3-hour graduation ceremony or a football game, you can throw that up on SchoolTube and it'll stream right from, or play right from there as video. Which one?
I mean, there's a question that I have about how much information can the cloud hold over time, and why would you do that? Why would you say, we had a football game, and we're going to put it up on SchoolTube? Why?
Because
great play.
Yeah, maybe Johnny Smith, who was the quarterback, had a really good play, and his aunt and uncle who live in Missouri couldn't see it. So he could send them a link to it and say, check out the 36-minute point, you'll see my play there. Or he could use that for a college application to get in because they want to see what kind of sporting things he's done in the past, or he or she.
Or is there any way after a while to say, okay, we've got 7 years of videos up here, can you archive it in a different place and get them off?
I've never considered that. I mean, there's no, because there's no,
will the cloud fill up?
Storage is not a problem. It's multiplying and expanding. I mean, think of even those little SD cards that you have in your digital cameras. I remember years ago it was like $100 to buy a 2 gig card. I just bought one for that camera that I'm using right now, 32 gig, for like $20. So now it's under $1 per gigabyte. So space just keeps, yeah. Yep.
As big as we want in the smaller place that we can find.
That's right.
I was thinking of getting rid of it, especially if you're using the free version, and you only have whatever it is.
Yeah, you could do that.
Kill one or two to get back space because you don't need this one. You're just because I'm thinking.
In fact, I'll do that right now because I know I don't need this one. I'll just click delete, and now it's gone. So now I have ability to put 18 more up here for free.
Can you download to a non-iOS device?
Download the finished video?
Yeah.
From here that I'm looking at?
Right.
Yes, you could. You open this on any computer that you're on, and then you would just go right here to the download arrow, and it's going to start that download.
Okay.
So you could use the cloud as your storage space, and then go put it on whatever computer you need. So the possibilities are endless. Yeah. So this is all about after you make it, all the different options of what you can do with it. But
that's what I like about this. I think is.
So the intent now to demonstrate is before I even launch the app, I need to get some footage of what we're doing right now. So I will just launch the camera, the built-in app on these devices, and I'll go wide. All right, and right now I'm in photograph mode. You can see in photograph mode I have the grid on right now, and the grid is what we use for upper third and lower third. When you take a picture of something, if I may, I'm just going to hold it here. Notice how I have his eyes lined up in the top line? That's what you do when you take a photograph, whether if I'm this far away or if I am this close. The TV industry talks about the rule of thirds. And so the rule of thirds always shows the eyeballs go right where here, I'll flip it so it's on me here. So that you always line it up so the eyeballs are towards that top line. So that's one of the reasons why Apple puts that in there, so that you can be using that to guide here or there, no matter where you are, put the eye line at the top line of that. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're shooting video. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some video, and we need to set the stage here of what we're doing. So can I get you to launch the app, and I'll just do like an over-the-shoulder shot.
Which app do you want?
The Videolicious app.
Oh, okay.
Actually, that's fine right there. Okay. Let's just have you scroll up and down on that outline. And I'm just going to record a couple seconds of footage while you do that. All right, very good. Now notice too, when I did that, I can talk because the sound of what I'm saying is not going to be in the final product. So you can instruct people. I'll tell students, okay, now you guys do this, you do that. You can talk and not worry about that, because in Videolicious, you're only using what you see and not what you hear. So I'm going to get you guys here. Let's pretend you're having a conversation. If you want to look at her iPad and like point like you guys are demonstrating there, I'll take a couple of seconds of that. Hold on, my camera's not going. I got to close and reopen again. It's probably because I'm broadcasting it live too. Come on. It's probably because I'm broadcasting. I shouldn't be doing both. All right, hang on. I'm getting there. Okay, now it's recording. So we had a couple of seconds of
video you, and then we can put it in the cloud using it.
Can you use the document after it's on the card back of you to photograph what's going on?
I don't know where that's going to go to.
Okay.
Not sure how they have that hooked up. All right, there we go. Now it's off. Okay, so I'm going to record myself here telling the story. And I could use the mic, of course, but I'm just going to skip it. So I'll use the built-in one on here. I'll put you guys in the background. I'll go like over here. Hi, it's Rob Z, and I'm doing a workshop today at the NYSCATE conference about using Videolicious. The attendees had a really fun time. We talked about all sorts of things like accessories for the iPad, different ways to record videos. We had a lot of excitement in the class, but as always, we had some people that weren't really into it, and that's okay for their sessions. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. All right. So purposely there in my mind, I was thinking the order of shots. That's kind of important there, is to be specific if you can, but somewhat generic. So now that I made that, I am going to try to demonstrate now because I'm not recording anymore.
So there's a video one here, but where's the camera one? That's the thing on Videolicious there. I don't know where the camera is.
The camera.
Well, if I pull up Videolicious on my camera, there's that.
I got to see what you mean by that.
To add a shot, where do I take
Oh,
a picture?
yeah. This is the record button.
Right, but that's for video. Where do
yes.
I take a picture for it?
You don't, and that's
go to camera.
I mentioned that to the developer too, because his name is Matt Singer. I worked with him on beta testing version 2. I said that I'm not so sure if people would use your built-in feature because you can only do video. You can't do photo, and I don't know if you can flip the camera around either.
I think you can flip the camera.
There was something you could do and couldn't do, and I thought.
I can't take a picture in Videolicious.
Yeah, that's why I always figured, like I was trying, just use your built-in camera app, the Apple camera app.
Then I just pull it up from my camera roll.
Yes.
But it would be nice to be able
That's
to
right.
take a picture,
This
take a
one here.
video, and have it in Videolicious.
Yes. I'll mention that to him. Actually, he probably will watch this because I told him I'm doing the workshop and I'm recording it. So everybody say hi to Matt Singer. He's the developer and CEO of the company. Yep.
Make that change for me.
That's right. So we went to sleep here. The app, just the camera app, is what I use to do that. So now that I did that, let's launch the Videolicious app. See if it will go. No, I haven't. They use the iPad, but not my phone. No. I would if I was with them. I would let them do it, but I just don't want it to be unattended to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I'm going to demonstrate is going to be without me logged in. Right now I am logged in with my account, so I want to get out of that so that you guys can see what it looks like from a student perspective without being, figure out how I do that. Because I'm going to show you the Pro Premium features. Unlink from Videolicious. Yes. Okay, so this is what it looks like when a person installs it and did not create an account because it says sign in there. This is how you would be operating it. So step 1, select the photos and videos you want to include. And so we shall go to our camera roll. Now I'm going to choose them in the order that I spoke about them. It's still not updating. There it goes. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3. I'll do that one. You know what? I probably don't need certain ones here because I didn't make it that long. Here's the happy and here's the not happy. All right, and then save. So I chose them in that order. That takes care of step number 1. Step number 2 is to film yourself, or actually, this is where it's confusing. I do have to hit tell your story. It says loading camera, but now look up here. You have a couple of options. The option we want to use is import, because I'm going to import in the story that I made. And from a design perspective, I think that import button should have been down here before. Maybe like tell your story or import, like just so you kind of have that pathway there. So I'm going to import my story, the one that I told, which is the very last video. Okay, so that's it there. So far, yeah, it makes sense, right? The workflow is very sensible. Now it's going to count down, and it's playing. So now tap the first one, and now the viewers are seeing that. Tap the next one. See, it's counting down. I won't tap it and watch. It'll move. It'll move on its own. I only got 5 seconds left. I better go fast. And then I'll tap back on me at the end there. Ooh, I did it wrong. I did it out of order. But I think you guys get the idea, though.
You just tap it.
I made a mistake. Yeah, you know what? I don't. This is how easy it is to fix it. I don't like what I did there, so I'm gonna hit back, and I'm just gonna do it again.
So while you're talking, the pictures come up and you tap it. That's what I wasn't doing.
That's right. And notice the green. You're gonna see a green border.
Yeah.
When I start it, the green border will be on my big picture because it's having me talk. But I'll wait till about 3 seconds go by, right about now, and now I'll tap to cut the first one.
And that'll come back to you.
Coming to the next one.
Tap you.
It'll go automatically to the next one. It'll go automatically. So it's going automatically if I don't tap it.
Oh.
But I'm.
How long does it stay on when you tap?
It stays on there until it runs out of time. Till the video clip till that video clip runs out. That 5-second video clip runs out of time. Or if I tap to go to the next one, it'll instantly go to the next one.
But will it go back to you?
It will if I touch me and touch the big screen.
So what you've created, I think, if I'm visualizing this correctly, we're going to hear your voice, but we're going to see those.
That's correct. That's correct.
Only where you've tapped.
That's correct. Yep.
Reminds me of synchronizing a Microsoft Producer presentation.
Yeah.
Synchronizing the video on the slide.
They call it in the news industry, it's called B-roll footage.
Right.
You're hearing the newscaster talk, that's the A-roll. But then you're seeing stuff happening on the B-roll while still hearing what's happening on the A-roll.
Very cool.
So here's the finished result. Let's see if the audio is. So you're still hearing me talk, but it's going to these shots. And see, I was saying excitement and it happened to line up. And then that part there. And then it goes back to that at the end. In the free version, we'll put the little logo at the bottom there. So that's just a little advertising for the company itself by doing that. So if you're happy with that, you now can hit save in the corner to proceed. And now you're on your third and final step, which is to choose that music to go along with it. If you don't want music, if you want it to be silent, you can do that because you can skip it. But it's nice to hit choose music. And in the free version, you're going to have 9 built-in music themes. And to listen to any one of them, hit the play button. And you can hear what it sounds like. All right. So when you find one you like, I'm going to choose that. I think it was Lounge. I'm going to go for that one. You just touch the middle of it, and it selects it. Now, this is something that I hope I can take credit for this one. I told this to Matt Singer. I said, it'd really be cool if we could find a way to say, maybe I was really quiet, or the music was real loud, and we want to figure out which way to go with it. So now we have a slider.
Oh, that's great.
If you slide to this side, you eliminate my voice altogether, and you hear the music, and the music is louder. Or slide it back, other end of the spectrum, now you hear the voice and no music. So depending on how well your microphone worked out and how loud your music is, I probably want to go more here because I want to hear that music too. So I'll go about there, and then I'll hit save. And so that slider concept, I think, helped with that. So now you have yet another chance to preview it with the music. So we hit play. And filters. This is unfiltered. Watch this. This is deep, kind of brings the colors down. This is kettle, which kind of blends it out to be just, puts in the corners a little bit dark. This is earth tones. This is stone. Oh, it's not catching up now. And so there's about 6 or 7 different filters there so that you can choose what kind of different, layer that you want on top or filter to make it look a little different. So I'll just leave it no filter for now. Hit save. Yeah, we have a digital video production club that I think really would benefit from this. So if anything was going on, if the poinsettia sale that's going on next week at our school, have the kids make a Videolicious video about it. Take some pictures about it, even go on the web and take some screenshots of a poinsettia plant, and they could use this as their tool to make those. Now for this step, selecting the video size, Because you do not have an account created right now and I'm not logged into any account, it won't actually let me do high quality. Watch if I try that. It's kind of, it's deceiving. There's not like a middle ground. It's either this or that. And then I hit save. Watch this. It'll say, please create a free account to upload HD videos. So if I say yes, it'll then bring me to the page where then I can sign up. And you can sign up and create the free account, and then it will let you do the high quality videos. So you don't have to have a paid account. You just sign up for the free account, and then you'll be able to have that.
They know how many people are using their stuff.
That's right. That's right. And then there's a path for them, too, for monetization, for people saying, oh, I really like this. I want the bells and whistles, and then they pay for it. That's what they call in the industry the freemium model. It's free, but there's also premium, so it's a freemium model. Anybody use Evernote on their devices? I'm a huge fan of Evernote, and they had that freemium model worked for me because I started using it, and I was like, wow, this fits my lifestyle good. I have no problem paying $5 a month now for it. So that's what they're doing a lot now in the industry with that. So I'll go ahead and hit, just so you can see the process, I'll hit the basic style. Now this is where sharing really is powerful. And it's so powerful that you have to be careful, like, do I really want to put that up in all these places because it's so easy to do so. I could set up, I have my Twitter account already set up, so just by sliding it on, now by my hitting one button, it would go there. I could also set up my Facebook, my YouTube, and send this to an email to somebody. You can do any or all of these that you want and give it a title. And then when you hit save, I'm going to turn it off so it doesn't go there. When you hit save, all those uploads would be happening simultaneously. So it's about rapid video production. So I'll be on the NYSCATE exhibit hall floor. I'll record something. I'll say send it to Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and email to Carl at SchoolTube. It'll do it all at once. So I didn't do any of those options. All I simply did was the cloud option. It put it on my camera roll. And it also right now will be, you'll see this slowly go, it's uploading it to the cloud. So that on that web interface, like we saw earlier, you could go there and see it among all of your videos.
Now,
it takes a while to upload, though.
Do you have to, as a video producer, like, have permission to do that?
From the people in my videos?
Yeah, just out of curiosity.
The way it works is just like, that's how the news, I was going to say channels 2, 4, and 7, but that's in Buffalo. From what they tell me, because we go on field trips there, because I asked that same question, if it's a public venue where anybody could walk in or walk out of, by law you don't need permission for it. So if you go to a restaurant, that's considered a public place. But a school is different, because a school is usually under the age of 13, comes into play. The kids would need parental permission.
It's a public place, but I can video and put anybody on
Yep.
YouTube, even if they're in it.
Because it's not, the law would say it's not a restricted environment. Anybody that wants to go to the zoo could go to the zoo. So capture whatever you want there. Or unless there was posted signs that say videotaping is not permitted at this point, then a lawyer could argue that, and then it becomes a legal concern.
Cool. Okay.
But yeah, I start learning all that stuff just because of the fact that we're doing so much video recording in all these different places.
Right. Because my department, we have a lot of, we have a totally field-based program.
Mm-hmm.
So all of our students learn the first thing they do every semester that they're in any field placement whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
They have to take parent permission slips for the class that they're working in and get parent permission because they do videotape. They do.
Sure.
Now they use it only for their own, e-folios and stuff.
Right. Right.
And some districts have told us, no, you don't need the individual ones because everyone has signed at the start of the school year.
That's what we do in my school. Yes.
But in some of our schools, they don't, and it's intern by intern, classroom by classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we actually have kids that have permissions that say no.
That's right. Well, that's why.
Yeah, we have a form that has 3 boxes on it.
Yeah.
For photographs and video, for newspapers, for website, and then there's a third one, I forget what it's for. But parents can, in most majority, I would say 95% or more say okay to it. But it's few that don't, and then we have that list. Yeah. And then we have a big spreadsheet with all that information on it.
And then they get good at taking pictures from angles where the student isn't identifiable.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yep. Like the over-the-shoulder shots.
Right.
Stuff like that. Yep.
And they're not, they don't have any particular.
That is, yeah.
And
That's my daughter and son from a wedding. My brother Steven's wedding was 2 weeks ago. That was, from that. It's catching up here because I'm seeing something else on my screen. So let me go swipe over and take a look at where we were at here. So I showed you guys a level 3 that involved the camera and the microphone. But I want to show you a level 1, which would be a starter, a basic one, slideshow style video with no camera or mic usage, And then the level 2 intermediate with just a voiceover. So let's do that now. All right, so again, I'm not going to log in just yet. We'll use it in its basic mode. This one I'm going to do is going to be about our Tech TV program, our morning show program that we do. On Friday, I made sure I did this. I recorded a bunch of footage in advance for this workshop. So I'm going to choose my shots from some Tech TV stuff. So we got that, we got that. Show the teleprompter, we'll show that.
Green screen?
That. Yes, it's a green screen room, yep, which is why I'll make sure I get some shots of that so you can see it.
So you can project stuff behind there?
Yes, we use a software product called Adobe Visual Communicator, which is a dead product as of 2007 when Adobe acquired it, but unfortunately no competitive product is out there. So it's like the program for doing green screen newscasts, and we've been using it since then. I actually presented years ago at NYSCATE conferences on that when it was in its heyday, really becoming really popular. And so you can make green screen newscasts where the kids are just in front of a green wall, but then the digital image looks like they're there.
And how do you put the digital image in with Adobe?
The software does it, yes. The software does it. Your FireWire camcorder.
How do you bring in the Adobe software to Videolicious?
You don't. You don't.
How do you change your background? That's an easier question.
Yes. In the software, the Windows software, it's Windows only. The Adobe Visual Communicator.
I think I have that on my PC.
Oh, okay. There's an area that on the left-hand side where it says V-Screen, and you just drag your image right on top of the V-Screen area. If I had it, it'd be so much easier if I had it. I could show you.
Yeah. So you have a Videolicious video, and you take.
Yeah. That could be.
You put that image you wanted on your B-roll and then bring it in. See, I don't know how you get it.
I'm trying to figure out what your goal is. Is your goal to show something the kids made with Videolicious on?
I see you have kids in front of a green screen, and you want to put something behind them.
Yep.
Where do you get it from?
The built-in library that comes with Visual Communicator, like that new. Yes, like that new set that you're seeing there. That new set exists in the software.
So are you projecting that on the green screen?
No, no projection is happening. It's all done on the computer. The computer is outputting a signal out that everybody watches.
I know. I don't know. I'm not asking the question properly. I don't know. So you're in Videolicious and you're making this video, and you've got your kids in front of a green screen.
Videolicious and green screen, not two separate concepts altogether.
The green screen before he did the video taken with Videolicious.
You know what might help instead.
Just go back.
This might help.
I don't want you to stop your system. I'll catch up, and then my mind will and probably answer my own question.
I can do this though, at least, so I can show you the actual clips that I took.
Yeah.
Just the naked clips without anything being added. So I just with my camera shot some stuff that was going on in the studio that day. All right, next clip. And just so you can see, this is McKenna in front of the green wall, which is probably what I recorded on the next clip. Yeah.
But there's really nothing there.
Which is this. So the FireWire camcorder was shooting this video clip, and the FireWire camcorder is hooked up to the computer, which is doing all the work. The computer's doing all the green screen replacement work. No, still not good. No, still no good. And like these guys, when I recorded them, they were in front of the green wall.
I get that you recorded them, and your recorder might be in your handheld device right there.
See, like that's her there, and that's the output. So this is coming off the camcorder. This is coming off the computer.
I still don't know how the background got there, because it was on a green wall.
Yes, the software is what's responsible for that.
But you have a software on a PC that's Adobe. How'd you get it to your video? To the video.
He didn't get it to the video.
I didn't.
What happened was, it put it in the background. It put it in the background, and he's videotaping the result of that.
Okay, never mind.
I stood with this with my phone, and I was just shooting video on Friday of what was going on. And when you saw that, I just took the camera right against the screen and recorded that. Okay. And maybe as we go, it'll. Okay. All right.
No,
All right.
Not that. I just can't, my mind can't wrap around all the different places you got information from.
If I could get you there in the studio, I've done summer workshops for probably the past 7 years, and it always makes sense when people are there, and I could say, this is how the camera feeds in, and they, oh, I've been struggling with how that worked, and now I see it.
You know,
and it's just that in-person factor.
You're in the middle of making a Videolicious movie.
Yes, yes.
And where my mind is in the Videolicious movie.
Okay.
So what I'm seeing is you pulling up a green screen.
Okay. Yeah, the two are not really related.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to relate them. So I just have to let you get done with one process, and then I'll be fine.
Okay. So I picked a bunch of footage here. I'm going to hit save in the corner. Step 2, this is a level 1 video, so I'm not going to record my voice. I'm not going to have the video camera on. I'll just skip it. And now when I skip it, it says set the video length. Now here's what we've got. If I go to the maximum length, which is 30 seconds, 30 seconds is adding up all those individual video clips. If you add up 6 and 5 and 4 and 8 and 7, all those seconds of videos, it would add up to 30. So that would mean don't take any of the footage out. But let's say I only want to have this be worth 12 seconds. I need it to be shorter. I can manually scrub it down. It's not catching up though. I brought it down to 12. Keep on going. There it is. Okay. And now I'll hit save. And Videolicious is going to appropriately chop down all my clips for me. So I still have them all, but I have the beginnings of them all, not the full ones in duration.
Is there a way that you can choose the part of each video?
No, you can't. That question usually comes up. No, it always starts at the beginning of your clip, and then it shrinks backwards to make that clip smaller. So it will include all of them. I think I picked 6 clips in this. It'll include all, but it'll shrink them all down appropriately. And so we can add some, this part you can't skip. You have to add some music to it. So I'll just choose the first one. And so here's a level 1 video. Got your music playing. And it's choppy because of the Wi-Fi. And so that's a quick throw together video without me needing to talk, narrate over it, and just have someone see what's going on in a format. Now that could have been photographs too, by the way. I'm showing this with video clips, but if these were photographs, there would be motion applied automatically to them. So they would pan and move slowly.
Can you choose which motion you give?
No, you can't. No, I think it's all randomized, so they all go different directions, but it's part of the algorithm that's automatic. So let's say I'm happy with that, save it. Same process as before. The outputs would be same ones available, and you can do that. So let's pretend that it is done, and I saved it out. Yeah, I think by the top and left, right and left navigation, it makes it quite simple to go back between it. Oh, and as of last week, Thursday, a new 2.3 was pushed out. It was 2.2 before. 2.3 now adds it where if it crashes in process, when you relaunch the app, it'll resume in the same spot. So that was a major fix that they just released, because that was happening to me as I was preparing earlier in the week for this workshop, and he said not to worry, that any day now the Apple Store will release my next version of it. So, and that's a great thing too, support@videolicious.com, you can email him, and he will respond back within a couple of minutes too. So anytime I have a bug report or a feature request, I put it out there and then usually get some good feedback about it. So I'm not sure how many people are working behind the scenes, but I know it's definitely Matt's the top guy with it, and they're pretty good about making changes and checking stuff. So I was going to do a level 2 video now. So take the same idea I did a moment ago, but now I want to add my voice to it so that I can explain exactly what we're seeing. I'll include green wall, then I'll talk about the teleprompter, the audio mixer, and let's say doing the weather. So that's the order of things I'm going to talk about. I'll hit save. Now for here I'm going to say tell your story. It will load the camera, and I'm going to choose this option up here, press it once, and then now it says mic only. And notice as I'm talking, you're having the nice, this was another feature request. I'm wondering if I can take credit for that, because I told Matt, I said, sometimes you don't know if you're really far away how that sounds versus if you're really close, if you're too high. I see how, here I'm kind of, the good thing is the iPhone has circuitry built in so that it's dumbing, it's making it less sensitive, you know. But I move it far away, and now it tries to adjust to now capture a faraway voice. And so real nicely I can hit that record button, and here it goes. Hi, this is Mr. Z, and we're talking about our Tech TV program. What you're seeing is the guys and girls in front of the green screen where we do our morning show. Now we're seeing the teleprompter, which is where all the text is typed in, so the newscasters know exactly what to say. Now we have an audio mixer that we use to take control of all of our mics, and this helps when you have multiple mics especially. And here you're seeing McKenna doing the weather report. She's become kind of our unofficial weather person day after day. And as you can see, she's standing just in front of a green wall, which is really nice each day to put our graphics behind. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Notice it's flashing red up there. Did you see it flashing red? That was telling me, just because my eyes weren't looking there, that I'm getting close to the end, so I have to wrap it up. The video 7 minutes are too short for your nation, so the recording stopped. Oh yeah, so that's what it's telling me there. I hit OK, and now I'm going to play. And I knew what I was talking about because I could see it over there.
You could write scripts and have the kids ready to read it.
That's right. They could be reading right off a script, yeah. I usually prefer an outline as opposed to a word-for-word script, just so they know the order of operations that they're going to talk about.
Then you're really accessing their working memory.
That's right. That's right. And that's why it's good to say, I usually tell kids everything has to be under 60 seconds. You know, we're not going on for 5 minutes. It's always a short one like that. And so that's a level 2 video that has the narration behind it. And then, of course, you could hit save and do your usual routine with music and then saving it out after that. So we looked at the level 1, level 2, level 3. Demonstrate the advanced features for premium users. All right, so if you were going to fork over some cash, as I said, I think it was the entry level is $5 a month or $60 a year. You could pay for it either way. You get some additional features. So I'm going to go all the way back now to the beginning. Back, 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 back. All right, now I'll hit the green button at the top, sign in. I'll go to sign in. Oh, okay, and it's telling me, because I'm about to sign in, the one video that I recorded before, it's going to be lost. So this would be your, this is where it could get tricky. If a student had theirs on there and they were working on it and didn't finish today, and they expect to see it there when they come back tomorrow. If a person goes ahead and does log in, it wipes that out. So to avoid that scenario from happening, that's why, as I was mentioning earlier, I think I want to create one single account that they all use. So therefore, there's nothing that is going to get lost accidentally or on purpose. So I'll go to sign in. And I got to try to remember which I used here. And because I'm doing a screen recording, I got to flip this over so the world doesn't see what my password is. And if I did that right, all right, it logged me in. So now I am back at the regular screen as before, but now it says two things, my logo and my videos. So if I go up to my videos up in that corner, you'll see the stuff I've recorded in the past. This is actually for one of the grad courses I'm teaching now. I had the students the first week use Videolicious to do a multimedia introduction of themselves. So the video had, let's see if it plays here. This is playing from the cloud, I believe, so it's not on this device. She wanted to have her little doll there. Thank you, yeah, yeah. So she starred in a couple of videos with me there. We did a Google Chromebook review, and that one she liked showing off how the Chromebook works, and I had her typing so we could show even little fingers can be used on the keyboard that they put on the Chromebook. Now that one goes on for about 4 minutes or so because I blend in some other clips with it too. This is the one I made for this workshop a couple of days ago, and that's it. There's two. Remember before I deleted one off of there? It would have been here if I didn't delete it. So, but it's synced together because you can control things over the web there. So that's what you find under my account. You can see I have the $5 a month account, which gives me 100 videos stored instead of 20. Tell friends about it, sends a little email to people, send feedback, sends it directly to Matt Singer at the company. And then to log out of this, I would touch that one there. They call it unlink, yeah, instead of log out. Now what was the other thing I want to show you? Back to, not to here. Back to this screen. Okay. another thing it has, My Logo. This is where you can have a pre-roll and a post-roll footage. This could be either a photo or a video. So if I go to there, My Logo, I made a graphic. I'm going to touch this button here. That one brings me back to this is the beginning graphic. So before every video I make, I could have this on so that this graphic shows up. It could be kind of like just for branding purposes. Or I could load in a video here as well. By hitting the import button, it lets you choose any photos or videos that are sitting on your camera roll. So in an event like this, let's say at NYSCATE, if I was going around and interviewing all the exhibit hall people, I might have the first 5 seconds be like robztraining.com at NYSCATE, and then make the closing one say, thanks for watching NYSCATE 2012. So that would be automatically in the very beginning and the very end of every video that I make. That you can make it wherever. This graphic I just happened to make with the slideshow app, which is, what's the iOS app? Keynote. I used Keynote to make it. But you can make it on anything at all that you want. Any.
How do you get it in there? Take a picture of it again?
Yes, that's what I did.
What is that you hold, lock?
It's the lock button and the home button. The lock button is at the top. It's on the far end of where you're... I'm not sure what they officially call it. It's the...
lock button that locks it on and off.
That is.
Yeah, maybe it's call it the on-off or the power, the longer one on the top. So you press one and then press the other. It doesn't matter which one you press first, but you do hold one down, press the other one down. And then it takes a picture, yep. And then that throws it on the camera roll for you. And you can import it from that camera roll. So there's your beginning graphic, there's your ending graphic options. And you can pinch and zoom and shrink. It'll actually play, if it's a still image, it'll slowly zoom in, I think, just to give it a little bit of motion. But instead of picking photos there, I could put videos. Maybe I have a little flying in logo spinning graphic or something that I want to use. You could use that also. So that's an advanced feature for the premium accounts. I'll go back. And now another thing you'll see is the amount of music you can choose from. So let's just say, pick a couple more, save, tell your story. This is all the same. Nothing is different here. Let's just say we import I'll make a level 2 video. I'll make it with mic only. Hello, this is Mr. Z doing a test here of the Videolicious app to demonstrate some of the premium features. And so blah, 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 blah. Thanks for watching. Bye. All right, so imagine that was a real video. I just want to get to the next step here to show you. In this step where you choose your music. Now you have 60 unlocked choices. And they have kind of themes, like hopeful would be like easy listening stuff. So a couple variations.
This is on the $5 a month.
Yes. That's part of what that $5 a month gets you is the licensing fees that go along with additional music. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, when you see this and fully understand this.
9-minute video on Movie Maker took me forever.
Yep.
Video can't be used in Movie Maker with a similar screen, but libraries of music as well. And it's free.
And there's your, so you get that, save that. So that's the idea behind that, the premium features. And because I got the opening graphic there, I hit play. It shows that for a couple seconds. Then it goes into the video. And at the end, it would be the closing graphic. So a couple of other extra features there by being a paid member of the app. All right, so let's see where we're going next.
Now you know what to ask for Christmas.
That's right, yeah. Yeah. And you can upgrade and downgrade at any time, too, from what they tell me. So if you want to just try it for a month, you know, sign up for the monthly plan, try for $5, and then just cancel it at the end of the month if need be. They allow you to do that. Any questions then before I move on to the Mac desktop demo, which is what you guys probably have on these machines here. If you want to make one today, you can do that. Actually make a video, kind of like I've been doing, just so that you get the hands-on experience of it.
And we can do it on the iPhone.
You can do it there also, yep. So we're getting to that spot. I kind of left number 14 down here to be our activity towards the end here, where we get some time to play around with it. Sure.
If you just started out with the free version, would you have each student make their own account?
No, I want to get away from that because then it's going to be hard to remember to log out.
Okay.
The kids will forget to log out. Another kid will go and use it, make theirs under somebody else's.
Okay.
So I was going to create one account and I was just going to pay the $5 a month to do it, just see how it works. And then that would be part of my instructions, would be bring the iPod to Mr. Z to check if it's logged in.
Oh, okay.
And they would bring it to me, I'd say, yeah, I logged in the last period, it's there. Or no, this one's not logged in, let me do it. So I'll put in the email and the password.
They don't know it.
And they won't know it, yeah. I'm not going to let them log in with it. So that I put it in. Once it's in, and it's good. You can turn this off and on as many times as you want. It'll still be logged into it. So my 10 district-owned iPod Touches will be all set. But now you have kids bringing in their own. And so they're going to bring it in and say, I want to use my device. And I'll say, that's fine. Bring me to the screen. I'll log in, and then I'll log in on their device.
They're all logged into the same account, but they're all doing different videos.
Yes.
And that's doable.
Yep.
Doesn't matter how many videos are working under one account.
That's right. Because that's just really for storage purposes of the finished product. What they're currently working on is on the local device. And so all the local devices could have different stuff on them that they're working on. And so that's my vision. I'm thinking that would work. I'm actually going to email Matt about that, and explain what I'm looking to do and see if that would work. Because I think in a school situation, that's what you'd want to do, because then you don't have to worry about logging in and logging out. Because really, these iOS devices, as you mentioned too with the iPads earlier, they're not meant to be enterprise-style devices where we log in and out of them. It's a personal device. And Apple's solution to that problem is, well, then just buy everybody one. And then you don't have to do that. You don't have to log them out. So just buy everybody one. Yeah. So that'll solve the problem. Yeah. So the Mac desktop demonstration now. So that is installed on this device. So let me quit that. And you install it from Videolicious.com. When you create an account there on the web, that's where you'll get the green button that says, do I have it up? I gotta do it that way. Go that way. You would see it under Videolicious.com. I believe you'd sign in first. Well, I'm still on my Wi-Fi for my phone, so that might take a little bit of time to load. But the idea is you would log in on the website, and then it would give you a green button that says install the app. Now, it's only going to install on a MacBook, a desktop or laptop, so it won't work on a Windows machine. But I was told, though, I heard somewhere that an Android version is in the works. So those of us that have Android phones or tablets are not going to be necessarily left out. Now, this would assume that I'm still connected to the internet. Let's see if it goes. I can switch now since I'm not demonstrating there anymore. Okay, so it's got me logged in. Bottom left-hand corner, you can tell because your name will be there and the sign out option is there. So really, this is going to, from what I understand, this looks exactly what the iOS app would be like. So same steps. Choose your shots. Now instead of going to the camera roll, you can, as it says, drag and drop photos and videos here. You can go to import, and you can grab them from your hard drive.
Wait a minute, how did you get, so it wasn't camera roll, but to that?
Well, forget about the iPad completely for what I'm doing right now.
Oh, sorry.
Because what I'm doing is I'm showing you the Mac app.
You're on the Mac.
I'm on the Mac app, yep.
On a desktop.
On a desktop or laptop, yeah.
So when I pull it, if I download it onto my desktop and on my Mac at school, it'll do this?
Yes.
It's not the same?
It'll look the same. It's what I'm running right now. See, it floats in a window like this. It's running.
I just don't know how you got that box in
because it knows he's on a MacBook and not an iPad.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Actually, I'll go here and load it up on Videolicious.com.
So it comes up differently even though it's the same thing.
And actually, try it free. Oh yeah, we would sign up. I already have an account. Sign in. I already have an account. So let me log in here then. It would not work, and I tried that, thinking I wonder if I could trick it, but no, it's coded for only running on a Mac. It's an official Apple-approved app. So from this screen where we saw earlier that my videos were there, you got that, make a video. We click that, and it says either download for the iPad or iPhone or iPod Touch, or download from Mac OS. So I must have chosen that. There it is to download it. It downloads. You install it like any other software, And then it is a program that exists on your MacBook or Mac desktop, which for me would be, looks like I have it running already. Let me get to here. And there it is. And I think it's loading. Or maybe because it's already open. Make a video. There we go. And so the very first screen looks like that, just like you would see on the Apple device.
And you choose your shot.
And so, yep, choose your shots. Drag and drop photos and videos here. You can go to import and pull them in from your hard drive that way. Or I already put some over here on the side. We'll make a wedding video. And I'll just drag those guys and drop them in. And then you have to click the shots to set the order. So first I'll talk about the picture, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So that's the order. And you can unclick and re-click if need be to change the order like that. And so I'm good. So I'll save it. Step 2, film yourself. Talk about the videos, photos, and movies. So tell your story. It's going to launch the webcam, which is actually a high quality webcam because it's the HD on this model that I have. So, okay, yeah, always consider what's behind you. A good videographer always thinks not just what's here, but what's back there. So this is kind of odd that you have me there. But no, not like an iPad, no, because it doesn't work like that. So can you click, though? No, clicking doesn't do it either. So, but you do have this gear icon which says choose which camera. So if you did happen to have an external webcam plugged in, I guess, or even a FireWire camcorder, you could do that.
Or just change the lighting to make sure it was right.
That's right. And the microphone sensitivity, it looks like it's going to allow me to change that too, which is kind of nice. So those are the settings there. So I can also import, like we showed before, if I pre-recorded my message, and I could make this an audio only if I wanted to. So I'll go for the full thing, for the level 3 video. Hi everybody, Rob Z today talking about the wedding that we went to last weekend. Let's see, first we're looking at Oakley and Owen here at the front of the church. And this is a picture taken at the Buffalo Historical Society outside afterwards. This is a shot of Owen's sneakers with his tuxedo. He didn't want to use the Tuxedo Junction shoes that didn't fit so well, so we got him a black and white pair of sneakers there to wear. And then here you're seeing Oakley and Owen dancing at the reception at the end. And my pictures are a little out of order, but this one happened to be earlier in the day when we did the photographs outside. And lastly, here's a shot of everybody in my family but me, because I was the person taking the picture. And I'll click back on me. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that video. I think in the beginning it wasn't on me. It must have started on the picture first, maybe because I clicked on it, and that was why. So now we can either skip the music or choose our music. So we'll choose it. Does this give us, yeah, because I am logged in as me, I get all 60 of them in here. So you get all of them. So hi everybody, Rob Z today talking about the wedding that we went to. So that's more music. First we're looking at Oakley and voice here at the front of the church. And this is a picture taken at the Buffalo Historical Society. I'd say somewhere around there. Save that, and it shall process the video.
It's amazing. It's like...
It really is, isn't it?
Oh my God.
Especially if you have background knowledge of other tools that can do similar things. This really streamlines the process and then builds it on a mobile device.
The hours that I spent either in Adobe or in Windows making a movie, you can't. That's right. Oh my God. When you see this, you're thinking, I'm not going back to that. It's like hard to have an open mind for both. Yeah. What am I asking for, Scott?
All these Apple products.
I know.
That's right.
I gotta get my $5 a month.
And the quality is, I think the quality is going to be higher here because it might not actually scale down the pictures. These look pretty crisp. So you might get better quality too doing it off of a desktop or laptop. That's pretty cool. Well, let's see if this shows. He spun her. He did it a couple times. He was doing that too. My pictures are a little out of order, but this one happened to be earlier in the day when we did photographs.
Very cute.
And lastly, here's a shot of everybody in my family but me. Yeah, see, so the panning and zooming, you can't control that. But it switches it up, so if it's a series of photographs, it's not all going in the same direction for each one.
I put all those in the Microsoft ones. You can do it all yourself. Choose, and there's 100 of things you can do, but oh my God.
And sometimes that's a bad thing, because then the students are spending time on that and not so much on the story itself. So
that's right. I like that.
And this looks like same options before. I must have used it already because I had Twitter and Facebook. I sent stuff there. So if I don't want to, I can just flip the switch and turn them off. And then when you hit done, where does it put it? I'm curious to know where it puts it on here. Yeah, I don't know where it is on the, like if I want, like, because there's no camera roll here per se. It's just,
where does it save
Is it in iPhotos or in your videos?
I've never used iPhoto on this. What about if I open?
So when you want to go back and look at it?
Yeah, I'm not sure where it puts it locally. That'll be a, not that, I wanted that. All my files, and then show me last opened. I was hoping that would show me the newest at the top. That's not it though. I don't know. I'll find out though. And when I find it, I'll put it in the blog, because I'm probably going to create a blog post about the Mac desktop version. So that's one of the things I'll cover in there.
Can't you search it up?
Well, what would you name it? I didn't name it, no. Although I think it might be my Videolicious Video. Let's just go video. That's the app itself. Applications.
You've got to have to save it somewhere. There isn't a...
Motion. No. I think it would have... It would say, because when I was in the app, maybe the theory is you go here to get it.
Is that it right there?
That is it, because it uploaded it to the web. I guess that's what you're doing.
That must be the default.
That's the default. It goes up to the web. Well, it's on. It uploaded to the cloud, so it's not.
How did you find it? Where did you
what did I click on? Yeah, what did I click on there? I went to this and I clicked on my videos.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry.
And I click on my videos, and then it brings me here, and from here I can go download, and now I can download that file.
So if you wanted to send that to like your parents, could you give them the link to that?
Yep, I would go right here to this, copy link, and I would copy that link, and I would send them that link. Now let's imagine someone emailed me that link. I would open it, and here's what you would see. You would see on their branded thing, or no, actually unbranded, because I'm a paid. Normally I would say Videolicious at the top, but it's unbranded. I titled it my Videolicious video. I left it at the default, so I could have put Oakley and Owen at the wedding, and then you play from here. Yep, and it's a nice, decent size. You can go full screen with it.
Will it send that in Gmail?
Oh yeah, I mean all it is a website link. So I could. Oh, I'm not connected. So I could just compose a message and say, here is the video, and then paste. And it's just a website link that they would click on in their email, and they would be able to play it or watch it then. So it's so that's pretty cool. I mean, they're giving you all sorts of options with what you do with your videos after the fact then. Yep. And so that takes us to, we did the Mac desktop, accessories. The iPivo perch stand, I didn't bring it with me. It's back in the hotel room because I wasn't using it for this because I got the handy holder, but this is what it looks like here. Here's what it looks like. I have tested other brands, and this one I like them best because it was probably 10 or 20 bucks more than the other one I had, but these legs are really good on a tabletop because if you're like me, you press hard when you type, and the other one I had this little tiny footprint, and when I would do that, the screen would be sliding left and right. So I returned that one. It was aluminum, so it was real lightweight and compact, but this one's a little bit larger, but I think it's worth it. And we use it just like you're seeing it there, like when we're making brownies, we'll have it with the brownie recipe right on the screen and have it right on the countertop, among all the recipes or all the ingredients. So it's nice to be wherever you're working. It's also good for video production because you can adjust it instantly from portrait to landscape, and you have this control too. So when you're doing FaceTime or video stuff with even the front or the back camera, you have that access of control to go out, tilt up or down. Right. So I do like that a lot. It's $49 to start, and then they have a medium style if you're sitting at a sofa, apparently, like this, and for $79, and then a podium stand, so it could truly be a podium. And they show it like at a car dealership, they'll have it sitting on the ground like that, or playing guitar. So what you're really paying for is the cost of the aluminum for that long piece. That's why it's 3 different price points there like that. So that's one accessory, the iPivo perch stand. And then the handy holder, as I showed you guys already, is this one on the back. Rotates all around, and it works on, they call it the universal tablet holder because it does truly work on anything because you just attach it like so. So the handy holder is pretty cool. And then the iRig handheld mic was this microphone I mentioned earlier that works with any of the iOS devices. They're showing it for $59.99, but you can get it on Amazon for like $45 or so, $42 I think last time I saw. And we had purchased 10 of those last school year I budgeted for because it goes along with our 10 iPod Touches. So now I made a little kit. I have a little plastic shoebox, and inside of it is the iPod Touch, the microphone, and a tripod, which is I think I got it for 1 cent on eBay or Amazon, but shipping was $2.99. So that's where they got you for that. But so for less than $5, a nice little tripod like this that could be used for your mobile device. In this case here, my iPhone. Same thing for iPod Touch though. Slides up. And oops, I got to do it the right way because they have volume buttons on the bottom. I put it this way.
Something like that for the iPad.
Possibly. This always pops off if you go too far. I've seen ones that look like tripod-style legs. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get it now. You know what? You probably have to take off your case too if you have, because this case is thicker. I've seen ones, but this is so large, and these legs are so small that it's kind of top-heavy. They do make them, but for probably $10, $12. But I like that perch stand because it's very rugged, and you can tilt this way with it, and that's what I use. Yeah, the perch stand is what I use for this. Yes, but for this or for iPod Touches, this little guy does the trick. It slides in there, and then it can be used and positioned accordingly that way. So less than $5 for that little guy there. So those are some of the fun accessories to use with your iOS devices. How are we doing on time? All right, good. We have about 40 minutes or so. What I want to do now is a quick little brainstorm because everybody might have different angles on how they're thinking they could use Videolicious. So what are some of those ways? Like I mentioned earlier, the poinsettia sale thing for a club to make a video.
Selling T-shirts at our school. Definitely we could make a video on. Let the kids put them on, wear them, and model them, and sell the T-shirts.
Perfect.
I'm thinking about students demonstrating what they know about whatever you just taught.
Yeah.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
Because that's a whole lot better than any paper pencil test that ever happened.
That's right.
A movie of making the movie.
Yeah, a how-to of a how-to.
How-to videos, all kinds of how-to.
Yeah.
They could even do lessons.
Yeah.
Which is really, they have what we adults don't have. They have time on their hands to play and do stuff like that. Which is where this other, do I have it open still? From my blog here, if you look at the first page here, last week we were published twice. This was 2 phone interviews that took place back in October. One was from the Hetchinger Report, and the other one was from the Journal magazine, and it talks about how I'm having my students use screencasting using Snagit to teach their teachers. So it's flipping the classroom, but in this case it's flipping the professional development model. My students made, we called it Tech Under 90 Sec. They made screencasts of under 90 seconds of how to use Google Docs. Actually, this would help you if you're interested in learning Google Docs. Let's see. That's the first article, that's the second article, probably the third article. This one, just look for the journal. Yes. Yep. And if you're interested too, I'm plugging myself here, but you can subscribe if you want to my blog so that rather than you having to go and look for new stuff, it just comes to you. So right here, look at on the right-hand side where you got subscribe.
I'm not there.
Okay.
So where do if I'm on your, I'm on this outline right now.
Can you go back? Probably if you go back, it'll go to the.
But I want to do it on my. But the problem is, will this come up on my PC?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's just it's a web page. Yep. You'll see. You probably have it there too. Look on the right-hand side. Subscribe. Yeah. At the top there. You'll get.
If I subscribe on this, will it?
You're not. Yeah. You're just. This is just a tool to get to the web. Yep. So once you're online, you don't have to worry about which device you're on.
Still, my brain doesn't switch.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
You said you use Snagit. Do you prefer that to things like Screener or
I do, yeah, and that's in the one article from the journal. They interviewed me about that. They said there are free options. Why aren't you using those? I did use those, but there's so many advanced options that you can do with Snagit, especially that I liked, that it was worth spending the $20 per computer in the room to do that with. And that's a one-time purchase, not an annual purchase. So it was you know, an easy pill to swallow. Yeah. But there's great things you can do with that. And the premise behind it was the kids teach teachers, this is how you open Google Docs, this is how you share, this is how you comment. I had one girl, I have a blog article coming out soon, McKenna, she did a superb job on it. And actually, she realized that the videos are helpful, but they're all out of order. Like a teacher jumping in is going to be like, where do I go first? So she made a Google Doc and made a menu of, I think I can get to it here, of where everything, a logical flow that a teacher would follow to learn it. And she did that completely on her own without any prompting from me. So that's why I want to feature that in a blog post. In fact, I'll use Videolicious to interview her and get her to explain her process of why she thought about doing that, because I can throw that together in under 5 minutes and then throw it up here on the blog. That's the beauty of this stuff, is that you can go from thought to production within minutes once you know how to leverage the tools.
Yeah.
And that would be...
Both a lawyer and a journalist, and teaches on the journalism faculty.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the title, which is why I shared it. Oh, bring that back. I want it. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is it right here. This is the Tech Under 90 Sec menu. I call it McKenna's menu. And so you want to learn how do you open a document? Well, you watch the screencast. And these all link back to where we stored all of ours. In the past month, we probably have had added on 150 screencasts, probably 3 or 4 from each kid. Some kids made 5, some made 10. And she's got a good sense of humor and personality. You can kind of feel it as you're watching the videos. Like,
where'd it go? Oh, okay. So it's going to be called Google Drive, not Google Documents. You're going to teach all your...
Yeah. It's now called Google Drive. Used to be Google Docs. Yeah. And these can go full screen as well, so you can blow them up and see it. So she takes you through it in a bunch of different ones. Now she made, about 20 of them. Most kids only made 2 or 3, but she decided to make a whole bunch.
Can I get this?
Yeah. This is everything I'm showing you today is all linked from my blog. So all you need to do is spend some time on robztraining.com, and you'll have access to everything that I've been showing. Now I use my blog on purpose as the jump-off point for all the stuff I show in the workshops, because this does go so fast. And sometimes people have different interests, so they can then jump in on whatever they're most interested in that way. It is a great, if you're thinking of that, posterous.com.
What is it?
Posterous, like poster, P-O-S-T-E-R.
I know what I wrote on this thing.
Posterous.com.
And that's where you start a blog.
That's where you can start a blog, yep. And the reason why I like that particular one is if you know how to send an email, then you can be a blogger, because that's how you get your blog posts made.
But how did you make such a beautiful blog page?
I didn't even make it. Somebody else made it. I picked from about the 50 different themes that you could choose from, and I just happen to like that one. And if I want to do a total changeover, one click, and it all looks different, within seconds. So you can change the look of your blog anytime you want. So email them in is a great thing. And the other one is auto-posting. Once you post once, it automatically goes to your LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. It goes to all these other places without you doing a thing. And they call that auto-posting.
Cool. Are allowing their students to do something like this to talk about different pieces. It's a good learning experience, a good helping experience. Like
so that other people could see,
Like after Katrina in the Bahamas, there are now a few, at least, quite small books. Like a little paperback novel size, written by kids about something or other about the hurricane. Some about the hurricane in general, some about my life after the hurricane or whatever. But it's done as part of a writing project for a coping strategy. But 2 of the teachers involved recognized that what the kids wrote was really good.
Yeah.
And so they worked with somebody and got them actually published, and they're available for sale down there.
And these are actual books that you can purchase? See, if my students were interested in that, they'd have to, of course, buy the book. If those students, instead of making the book, did a blog, now anybody that wants it can get it.
Well,
so there's
if
certain...
you live on Ground Bahama, anything that relies on the internet is iffy on a good day.
Okay.
Now with the grant, we've got better internet in those schools on most days. Reliable all the time?
Yeah.
No.
And this is the United States of America, and it's 2012.
Right.
To still have schools that don't have basic internet access should be seen like not having food or water. I mean, it's
now around the country in homes, people don't
yeah.
have internet or any kind of technology.
Our
Yep.
VP, our vice provost, doesn't have internet access. Well, she does with 3G, but I mean normal internet access from her house because there's a dead zone.
Yeah.
Within about 2 miles of the campus because of the valley. That's the geography.
Yep. Yep.
No, it isn't.
Well, in 2010, the National Technology Plan came out, which really covered heavily on broadband internet access. But it's like a government thing with private industry to try to get Verizon and companies like that to help subsidize. And that was the vision. No, I don't know. In the city of Buffalo, yeah, to get FiOS service. I don't think they ever did get FiOS service. No.
Now in the Bahamas, even during this last hurricane, my Verizon phone worked. But it's because I have it. I want it to be a phone. Period. Full stop.
Yeah.
So mine worked. Even when Bahamas Cable and Bahamas Telephone, both land and cell, were down. Because obviously mine was very low on the satellite, not depending on it.
Yeah.
There.
There's landline and there's FiOS. Yeah. Yeah.
Verizon doesn't know where the Bahamas is. Sometimes they switch the time. How when you move around, it switches the time zone. Sometimes they put you on PDI time zone. Now, if they think PDI is close to the Bahamas, they've got some significant issues. But this time it went to Central Standard Time.
Okay.
So can I ask you a specific question about iPad?
Sure.
So I'm in this particular, I'm actually on the web, on your...
On the blog?
So
okay.
if I close it, it's not closed. The only way I close it is to do what you did, which showed us, which is to tap and get them off.
Correct. That's right.
So there is no place on the iPad that I could say close this. Why do they do this and then make you go to say,
yeah, it's one of
these are still open? Why don't they give you some way to close it so you don't have to go through this? I would never have known that existed.
They do but it's not. It's that trick about touching and holding the touch hold till it wiggles and then doing that. Now it's officially closed.
That's sort of
why
but most people won't do that. They'll just, like me, I just leave them there. Yeah. The technical answer is it's not really running in the background. It's not really, because Apple won't allow that. In fact, I use the Dropbox app, and it will upload things in the background only for about 2 minutes when you get out of it. Then it just stops functioning in the background. Yeah. Apple wants to closely control what's running on their machine so that the user has a good experience, so it doesn't crash and things like that. So they're there. They're just your most recently used apps, but they're not really running.
So if I don't check that, or I had no idea that particular part existed, I could have 1,000 of those lined up.
Sure. Yep.
And even though I've opened it 2 or 3 or 4, 10, 20, 30 times, it's in 30 different places, so I could go back and go, open it up.
No, it'll just be once across the bottom.
So if
like the YouTube app would not be multiple ones if I used it multiple times. It's always the most recent one. Always is to your. The most recent one's to your left. So I use that most recent. Then I use that. Something going down here I haven't used in a while.
Do you go back and shut them open?
I don't. Only when I'm doing something that, like with Videolicious, where I'm demonstrating and I'm doing some very resource-intensive stuff. Sometimes I found that it actually does help to close them out. I think the technical reason for that is.
Oh, it moves over and you take it out.
Yep.
I've been trying to move along.
And you can just go like this, tap faster than, because sometimes you click, 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 but you could just keep tapping your finger there, and they'll feed over as quick as you can.
Okay, good to know.
So I think what happens is there's memory, there's RAM that's allocated to each of these apps, so that the moment it runs, it can grab onto that. But there's only so much RAM in this machine.
Right,
so all these are taking a little bit of it up, potentially. So by closing them all out, I think it's making the most amount of RAM available for whatever you're about to open. So
okay,
I think that's the technical
really
reason.
Important thing to learn.
Yeah,
it's a nice thing for.
Oh, speaking of basics too, if you want to know basics, free app, Screencasts Online.
Let me go where you are. Where are you going?
I'll try searching in the App Store. SchoolTube. Tutor. SCO stands for Screencast Online Tutor. Have you heard of that before?
What is it? SCO Tutor?
Yeah, SCO is because it stands for Screencasts Online. SCO Tutor. I'm going to search for that in the App Store and see if it comes up that way.
Tutor, T-U-T-O-R.
That's right, yep. Don McAllister.
Something else, and that's what came up.
SCO space tutor.
Oh, okay. It shows up. Oh, I know. It shows up as looking like one word.
SCO Tutor, yeah.
Oh, I'm not on Wi-Fi.
There's no results on mine. Is it
from the App Store?
Yes, you found it.
How did you put it in? SEO.
Did you capitalize anything?
No.
No?
There's SCO Tutor, all one word.
Yeah. When I was on
Oh, no space?
Yeah.
Okay, that might be why.
All together.
Yeah. When I was looking for the iBooks author the other day, I was on my iPad and it wasn't coming up, and I knew I downloaded it, but that's because it's on my MacBook.
Well, what is SCO Tutor?
What it is, I'll launch it here so you can see it. It's a series of screencasts about the basics of your iPad.
Oh, cool.
So here's the menu on the side, and here's the introduction. Play.
No previous iPad, Mac, or PC experience is
So
assumed.
it's a
As I'll
tutorial,
take you through the basics
step by
by
step.
the end of the video. Let's start with the very top of the screen. We have a translucent black bar that stretches right across.
So he's
the top.
pretty good. This guy's name is Don McAllister. I've seen him present on some of the podcasts that I listen to, and he's kind of a guru when it comes to the world of screencasting. He's made a whole business out of just doing that, which is something I've considered doing too, but I kind of need that New York State pension and health care and all that stuff too for the family. So, but I like his concept of being you be your own boss and you create screencasts for things and you then put it out here and you have an instant ecosystem of millions of devices that it could go for. So he gives you this one for free so that you see what he's capable of, and then you can buy his other stuff.
Screencast Online.
Yes.
Did you just do that one, Scott?
Which one?
What did you download?
The SCO Tutor.
They have one for iPad, and then they have one for Mac too.
Okay, yeah. Both of those would be nice.
And they have them
I did it for Mac. I did the wrong one.
That's
Sorry.
okay.
We'll redo it for.
They have them for all kinds of other things too.
Yes.
But I can pull this up on.
Yep. Those I think you pay for. Yep.
I can pull that up on my Mac.
Or one. There's a couple free, but the majority of them were paid, I think.
I was actually searching for iBooks Author, and that's what came up because I was on the iPad instead of on my Mac.
Okay.
I knew I had downloaded it, but it wasn't on my iPad.
So if I went on my desktop and I could download that SCO Tutor for Mac.
No, because these are apps just for iPad. iPad only. Oh, there might be.
There is
yeah.
right here, but then how do I get it on my Mac?
If it's an iOS app, it's meant just for mobile devices.
So I'm going to learn it on here and sit next to my Mac
Right,
and play with
right.
it.
They call it the second screen technique.
Okay.
Learn it here, but then do it there, kind of thing. Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, my brain is going like this.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So good. We had a couple examples there. Good brainstorming. Yes.
Need, like,
we can do that. Yeah.
where is the closest one?
If you go back in where you came from, down this hallway, going that way,
On the right.
right where you came in from. Yeah. So at this point, that's all my new stuff for you guys. All the lesson-related stuff. I figured we would use the last half hour, if need be, to create. Give you guys a chance to try it out if you want. It's up to you on either the iOS device or on the desktop.
So we're just going to put in a plug for Rob right now.
Oh, sure. You got the mic's on. Yeah, recording. Yeah.
Whatever you're paying this guy, pay him more.
No, he doesn't pay me anything. Yeah.
Start paying him.
Maybe we should. Yeah. Set up some sort of consulting deal. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun stuff. I like this, and just the fact that it's so easy, really.
Yeah.
It democratizes video production for the masses. I think that's the vision that Matt had when he came up with this. He had what I was reading, some background on QVC or Home Shopping Network years ago, and that's where he got his on-screen persona. So he decided, let's make an iOS app that could make video production easy for the average person. So that kind of stuff inspires me, because then I get to see that it doesn't take expensive gear and years of knowledge to put stuff together.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I've been using Screener to do snippets for the steps the students at various places in their portfolio.
Okay. To do, because we've already created the templates.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking we were making it easier.
Yeah.
But, so little snippets using that. But for that purpose, I think Screener was probably okay, because you only need about 2 or 3 minutes to say, here's how to add a page, here's how to whatever. Because, of course, none of them are going to help me. So.
Yeah, F1, the help menu, yeah, yeah. I'll show you what I do. Right now, one of the projects we're doing is the Carrying Message project, and I use this format for all of my lessons, where they have the step-by-step, but sometimes there's a video to watch. For example, let me see one here. So this is how to upload the video to SchoolTube. So they'll watch me. This was made with Snagit, and they learn it this way.
To upload our videos to SchoolTube, we're going to look for the upload.
Probably very similar to Screener, which you would be doing.
As long as you are logged in, you'll now be brought to the place you're going to find these carrying messages.
Presenting here today. Big surprise, because I think he was born with a computer for a brain. He's just absolutely terrific. But he introduced Snagit as part of a project that he did as a final project. Not particularly to introduce that, but it was just that's what he used.
Oh, sure.
So people asked him, he said, well, he used this. You know,
yeah,
and that's got to be.
It's a very versatile tool.
He was a fresh one, so that must be. 8 or 9 years ago. At least.
Oh yeah, Snagit's been around for a while, but it was first made just for screenshots to annotate on top, but now more recently they made it available for video. Before, the only video option was Camtasia Studio, which is their full-blown version, and Jing, which is another free one that you could use too. But I kind of like what they've done with Snagit. They've taken the features of Jing and brought it into a bigger, more robust program.
I've seen Jing at a couple of conferences.
Yep.
Right now, I was going to say it was NYSCATE, but it wasn't.
Well, 2 years ago I did one at NYSCATE. I did one here.
This was when I'm thinking of where I was. It wasn't here.
Yeah.
I can't think what conference I was at. No one knows.
How do you make the black squares that you can put stuff in?
Oh, like a folder?
Yeah.
Okay. Got to start with 2 that you want to put in together. So show me which 2 you're okay with putting together.
Well, I just want to put school, I think.
Okay.
So I might put well, let's see.
It starts by picking 2 apps that you want
that are the same.
Yeah, that are in the same category.
So video. I only have the one video.
You have.
Or we can just.
How about Sentence Magic and Book Creator?
Sure. Yeah. So touch and hold that until it wiggles. Now drag it on top of the other one. And there you go.
And then I could put.
And then the name is right there.
Right.
They guess which one, but you can change that name. Yeah.
Okay. And then can I put? Now how do I get back to where I was?
Tap anywhere on the top then.
Okay, so then I could put this one with it.
Correct. Yep.
No.
Well, try again. You got to be right on. There you go.
Pretty quick. Yep. Sparklefish could go in there.
Yep, I like doing that too, because then you consolidate your apps down a little bit better.
SchoolTutor for the Mac is downloading on my Mac.
Oh, okay. So there's
it must be
good.
To what device it's on.
Yep. You probably then had to make a version for the Mac, a Mac app and an iOS app. Yeah.
Because he's doing things for the Mac and things for the iOS device.
Yep. Different coding tools, I guess, to do that. Yeah. SCO Tutor.
The problem is I almost want to make a folder of folders so that I can put the because my folders are spreading across a couple pages.
Yeah.
Now the thing I always find a real test of hand-eye coordination or something is moving an app from one screen to the next screen, or somehow because you've downloaded stuff, it's over here and you want to have 2 screens back to get it to cross that.
Yeah, you have to hover it on the edge.
Yeah.
And then it'll jump. Yeah. But that's not necessarily intuitive for someone to understand that.
But even when you know that, it's hard to find the space where it wants to go. Because it doesn't want to go from just anywhere on the edge.
That's right. It's tricky. Yeah. Yeah. You need like a little primer. Then they try to design these things so you don't, but it's kind of like inevitable.
Oh, he's got go-tos for iBooks Author for Lion.
Yeah, it looks like there's some new ones up there now. Some new ones, looks like for sure.
Google sites. That's another fellow in Britain that does something like steel something. But he has a ton of stuff. But even Google doesn't have to run their system.
Oh, that's nice.
But being able to make the folders.
That's so nice.
It takes a little order out of the umpty-nine things that are on your.
And it looked like you had the multi-touch gestures going because you knew how to pinch back down to that. Yeah, that's a feature you turn on. It's not on by default. Oh, and how about
that surprised me that wasn't on by default.
Yeah, well, because some apps, but it would interfere with some apps. Some apps, it tells you to turn them off.
True.
I use one called Doceri, where you can remote control. It's basically a smart board in your hand, and what you're doing here is going up there, but it's control. It's hard to explain it, but it's like a remote control. And that one tells you to turn it off because you have to. Yes, that's right. There was also something else. Oh, guided access.
Yes, I love.
You know about that?
I learned that one this morning, right?
Oh, did you? Okay. That's for they made it for like say, for example, an autistic child or a really young child that might click off and go somewhere else. You can lock it down so they can't leave that app, and you can specify areas on the screen that are non-touchable anymore. It's pretty good.
You have to hold it and click it twice or something.
Triple click. 1, 2, 3. Yep. And then there's a PIN number.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that idea.
This morning it was great. It was exciting because we could actually put this on a Montessori shelf.
Okay.
As a work, and the only place they can do is that one thing.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was a good find.
That's one of those new iOS 6 features that.
How do I get it to stop shaking?
Tap the button once. Yep. Yep.
Now we're gonna do something I think, but iBooks. When I open that, I have books in there, but can I order books online and that's where that goes?
You can, yeah. That would be, I think, in that app. Isn't there the store? It's up in the upper left-hand corner. It's kind of, I don't really use that because I use Amazon Kindle. I use the Kindle app.
Yeah.
And that lets me, I used to have an Android phone, so it would work there, it would work here, it would work on a desktop. It's just more compatible across different devices to read stuff. The iBooks is just the Apple branded version only. So I haven't used that much. And for news and information, Flipboard is a really good app to have. It's a free one. I use Flipboard so that I can look at in my Twitter feed, my Facebook feed, Google Reader, and then they have their own preset categories. So I look at ones from tech blogs and things like that. But it's one place you can go that your device really acts like a newspaper. And all of your
and
it flips, yeah. So this is my Google Reader account. So all the blogs I'm subscribed to. So I can flip the page. You can pinch open, read the story, and then pinch closed.
Yeah.
And so it really acts like a newspaper would. It makes it nice, when you're eating your cereal in the morning for breakfast. You can go through, and that's how I look at my Facebook stuff and my Twitter stuff and all that. I don't go into those apps. I just look at it all through Flipboard. Flipboard, yep. And now it is available on the iPhone and smaller screens too, and available on Android. It used to be only an iPad app. Yep. So you'll hook up your Facebook, Twitter, Google Reader, Google Plus, all those plus other ones that you're interested in, and then it's a one-stop shop for information. And you don't even have to subscribe to anything, because there are some Google Reader, yep. Yep.
I need my own iPad. I had on my Flipboard first.
Okay.
And then I never have time to go some of the other stuff like
Facebook
and stuff. I have an account, but I really don't do much with it except notice other people who want to share stuff. Partly because I never have time to go back and find it, or sign in again and look at it and whatever. But having it in the Flipboard,
yeah, it's a one-stop.
I've got a couple things there, and now I'm thinking about putting some
Yeah.
I don't have to go in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yep, and you can share out of it too. So if you want to tweet out stuff, I do that a lot of times too for other people that want to see similar stuff I'm looking at. Put stuff out too. So it's nice for that.
I haven't done that yet. I did see that, you know, I have played with the notion that it can be done, but I just haven't.
Yep.
But that's what I want to do, to share stuff with them. Bring up
and another one too that I mentioned earlier is Evernote. Yeah. Evernote really replaces the Notes app that you might use. I see every time we go to a conference, I see people with the yellow paper, the native Notes app one. And I'm thinking this is limited because then the notes, I mean, through iCloud, I think it is synced up somehow. But with Evernote, your stuff is synced up everywhere. It's on your multiple branded device, smart Android, iOS, desktop, laptop, anywhere you go, it's in the cloud. And they make it super easy to take photos to put in your notes. I don't really type a lot of notes. I take pictures of stuff. So like when I got my, well, the words that appear in the picture are now searchable text. So if I take a picture of this document, then later on I can search for the word Jim. And then I say, what's that guy's name, Jim at NYSCATE? I can just search for the word NYSCATE or Jim, and then boom, this pops up, and it's highlighted yellow over that name. I've done that with brainstorming sessions where people are writing on the whiteboard. Take a picture of the whiteboard, and now every word is searchable text. And I want to demonstrate that. I talk about the one art teacher. He wanted new sinks in his room for the capital improvement project. So I just type in Boz sinks. And out of the tons of things written on the board, there's those little words, handwritten, that come up. So if your brain can remember just one factoid about the thing that you captured, you can find it. And so I think students should do that too before they leave math class, rather than having to write down the assignment. Just pull out their device, take a picture, and now they have it before the teacher erases the board. I'm a big proponent of mobile devices in the classroom, and I know that's a touchy subject, but if our goal as educators is to prepare kids for the world that they're entering, then that's what we have to do. It's not really our call to say, well, I didn't need it when I was in middle school. Well, the world was different then. So that's a Heidi Hayes Jacobs thing, is which world are we preparing kids for?
Well, that's right. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Do you say you need an application to do that, or you can just take a picture?
Evernote. Evernote is the app. Yep. Evernote is the app. So you can take a picture of handwriting or printed text, and it would all be searchable.
So I just wanted to, I took some video of you.
Okay.
And I've selected that now. And I
you chose one shot, one continuous shot.
Yeah, that's
which would work. That would work.
Okay,
it just won't transition between stuff.
Right.
It'll just be that the whole time. Yep.
So then I'd hit save.
Yep. And now you're on to the tell your story part.
Okay, if I wanted to skip that.
Okay.
Now it comes up.
But do you want to skip it? Because by skipping it, that means the end result is just going to be music playing and seeing me talk but not knowing what I'm saying.
Well, let's just say I wanted to do that.
Okay, okay.
It only comes out at 5 seconds.
Oh. I got that, but I think
yeah, I saw you took like a minute long of a video, wasn't it?
It was 1 minute and 5 seconds. If I go back.
I wonder why that would be. Cancel that.
Oh.
And then back, yeah.
Then the camera's up here.
Why would that
because
be?
Otherwise my hand's always over it.
And where's the thing you talk into?
Maybe there's a limitation to how long a video clip could be when there's just one.
Oh.
I've never tried it where I've just selected one video, so I wonder if that has to do with it.
All right.
Maybe if you had a couple of different things.
Takes more.
Okay. Or even take photographs. You could take a bunch of single pictures and then choose from those.
Okay.
You could do that, yep.
Oh, I was going to take pictures of those things out here.
And I'm going to stop our recording because I think we got all the recordings done here.